No,
Ethan,
Ethan. Bad.
why?
Bad. You
So-
ruined it. Oh. No, wait. Session 51. Go. Recap. Please.
All right, session 50. Home again, jiggity jig. From Cherry's personal diary. However, the word diary has been crossed out several times, and then it says vlog notes. Right. It says, I'm so beyond ready to be off this death planet and back to civilization. However, I'm not really ready to tell Lohenu Da about, like, most of it. Like, what do I even say to, like, convince them this place is dangerous while not looking totally incapable? Like, I get it. I'm no Captain McMuscles explorer or whatever, but I don't want to look like an idiot. What if they regret sending me? What if I can't get another job because of this? And if I do save face, what if I give too much away? Like, what about the natives who have no concept of chill and, like, admittedly every right to defend their lands? And I can't even tell anyone about what they did to the last colony's reactor because I only know that from Zeke's time psionic trick. Ugh, Zeke, why do you do these things to me? Like, being his friend is fun and all, and he is a good friend, but life gets so much more complicated when you know stuff you aren't supposed to. But I can't complain, or he might stop showing me cool sneaky time stuff. And I'm like, not sure that to stop yet. Okay, get it together, Cherry. What are we going to tell the people who sent us here? All right. Stuff to highlight. Kaijusaurus. Draw more skulls around that. Contact with natives who are isolationist and maybe a touch territorial. Proceed with caution. Maybe some gifts. I'll make a note that they like the fruit. Yeah, hostile biosphere is how Eva said to put it, but like basically, yeah, you can't even breathe this air and the environment is full of things actively trying to kill you, like dinosaurs and drop snakes. Um Also, speaking of things trying to kill you, the natives have created several traps around a somewhat indiscernible boundary. I think it's best to like give them space until they establish friendly contact. And also, there's a whole bunch of refugees from the latest attempt to colonize that's in need of assistance. Like, their leader was just eaten, and they're on like their last leg, resource wise. Some of them literally. Um, Stuff to stay quiet about. Basically, anything to do with Zeke's magic tricks, as Bose calls them. Like any visions he has, any abilities. I don't know how long he wants to keep that up, but until he says otherwise, mum's the word. And then also maybe like just not telling them the exact tech level of the natives. Um, Three, I don't know. This is going to take a lot of editing. Just unfinished. Okay. Anyway, we're speculating home right now. It is so nice not tasting colors anymore when we do that, but it does still take time when we're this far out from LU. Like 15 whole days, like stars help us. It helped us all have time to work on things we didn't have a chance to on Straya. For me, that means editing this total mess of notes into something I can present to our employer that also won't embarrass me, or my family, or my fans, which Zeke makes a little difficult when trying to practice his telepathy. I mean, I'm already used to Ryuk being around, but he's distracting in a different way, and Eva tends to come knock on my door whenever she pleases, though recently she seems plenty busy. Anyway, Zeke has been respectful for the most part. I've heard a lot more about the books he's been reading. And we talked about some of his psionic stuff. Bo mostly hung out with Apple and Cruz and didn't come after any of my fashion accessories. And Pete has managed to read and charge. So here's hoping I can get this into something presentable by the time we get back home and that we don't all try and kill each other. I can't wait to pop back into the house, but I think I'm really looking forward to getting to my studio to work without, well, all of this.
That's amazing.
Thanks.
I loved all of that. Got a very in-depth insight into Cherry's mind there. So yeah, we are arriving on Elohim Da, and there was a flurry of messages being sent off. Um, some of them not really being responded to, but it is what it is. And yeah, so I thought to start with I would kind of bring us back to how you guys got this job because it's kind of a last minute thing before you left, and you guys may not have remembered all the details, um, but it was essentially um, using uh, connections, the connections that a couple of you had in the on the planet to try to get some kind of government funded job. And this was one of the several that were I guess that had been available when you got ready to leave. And yeah, it was kind of a I don't think how to even put it, just sort of like a up for grabs, you know, need need somebody to go out, almost like semi publicly listed. Um, but it seems that some word has gotten around about who exactly was taking up that job, because there had been no other takers as of yet. And you have got, you get a message, I guess, to the lot of you, once you re-enter Lohinuda's orbit, basically. And the message comes from none other than Nikki Nebula. She
Oh, thank
is.
goodness.
Say what?
I, for some reason, well, you know what? I'm not even going to tell you what I was dreading thinking it was because you don't need that. But I'm glad it's not what I thought it was. So continue.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's too late for it to be what you thought it was. You can tell me.
No,
No.
it's not. Really not. Your imagination sounds.
Secretly being bankrolled by evil McKillerface.
Fine. It does occur to me to double check one thing before I say anything else because I do think I sent a message to you guys somewhere, and I don't want to. I thought I had that same message in my notes, but it looks like I don't. So let me just double check something before I contradict myself. Okay. Cool.
You just deafen yourself while you're doing stuff like that so we can talk behind your back.
Deafen myself.
Yeah, just box your ears real quick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you're like, hey, I'll be right back. I gotta check something. You just like boop,
Okay.
hit deafen.
Fair enough. Yeah, I can do that.
That's muted, Ben.
Yeah, Ben. Not the same thing, Ben.
Whoops. Actually, if you guys do want a minute to conspire behind my back, I don't mind taking that.
We've already had several minutes before finally getting to play, so we just need to play, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, no, fair.
Because I did find the thing that I was looking for. Yeah, so basically she sends you a message to the effect of, hey, glad you're back. Really need to meet you urgently regarding the job you took for Lahinuda officially. As soon as you get the chance, get in touch with my agent and we'll set up a meeting ASAP.
There's no contact information for this agent in this message, is there?
Oh no, she sends the contact. It's actually the same guy that you had.
I was gonna say Cherry has that contact info saved.
Yes. Um, she's got a manager that Cherry reached out to last time.
So
And,
did I miss it? But is Nikki Nebula asking about our mission to that planet?
Mhm.
I thought that was for a nonprofit.
No, that was a different mission we did. We took
Oh,
medical
okay.
supplies for a nonprofit.
That's why. I crossed it up in my head then.
You're
It's-
like
Been a lot of
Some
sessions. No.
profit.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
like uplift. Let's see those tax returns. Need to know who's behind you.
yeah. So yeah, you can. Cherry's got Mr. Caster's info from before as well, so you can set that up whenever you're ready to do that. And I think I mentioned right at the end of last session that Pete sent off a message to Orion and had not gotten a response yet. Though it's not been very long, just a few hours maybe.
Have we made it to Lahinuda, or are we still just on approach?
No, we're orbiting, I think, right?
Yeah, you guys are on approach. You know, being directed to a hangar bay, taking your turn. Traffic's not super heavy, but there are a few other ships coming and going. Anything you guys want to do before you land? Otherwise, we can go ahead and land you.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think Cherry's gonna be feverishly editing her notes.
All right.
Eva, I think, tries to call a planning meeting.
All right.
I wondered.
Tries. I'm waiting for you to say that everyone scatters.
Flee.
With extra flea.
Eva is. So I guess it depends on how persistent Eva is.
I guess the planning board is at least in the same room as the capybaras, so
Yep, the cargo bay. Yep.
Bo's unlikely to run too far. Could be ambushed into it.
Well, if there's any participation in it, we don't have to do it in character. It's just her wanting to get all of us straight on the information that we're reporting, and also a little bit on what everyone's roles are, with Eva just being the captain of the expedition, Cherry doing the presentation, and basically being our presenter. And Bo and Pete, security. She goes into far more detail than is necessary.
Seems reasonable.
Bo
Okay.
will get
Typical.
distracted. Oh,
I was just gonna say Cherry's there, but she's working feverishly on her black slab.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, brief reminder that at this point, Zeke can initiate contact with Eva and Cherry with no effort whatsoever.
What about the capybara?
Them too, yes.
And all the cappies.
All the cappies.
Let me note that down.
So yeah, Bo and Pete are the two that he has not tried doing his telepathy with, practiced with.
Oh, I was gonna say, Bo uses some point in that planning meeting when he decides he doesn't need to pay attention anymore to follow up with his two pals he tried contacting last time they were here.
Okay, nice.
Or his murder hobo friends.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Sounds good.
Have we determined where this meeting needs to happen too? I'm just wondering if it's a place Zeke's been before.
The meeting is likely to be in Nikki Nebula's tower, which you have
Nice.
been in before. You may not have been in the specific room that you're going to be scheduled in or whatever, but you've been
We've
to a
been
few
to like
different
the
places.
waiting room and various areas along the way.
Yeah. And you'll remember that. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Here, let me send you a message for something that you would remember.
I think I remember what you're gonna tell me.
Oh,
but
okay.
go
You
ahead.
think you're gonna remember? Oh, good memory. Then I think, yeah, you guys are good to go ahead and land. Ryuk takes care of the landing while Eva's planning meeting is going on. And Bo, how subtle is Bo being about his unrelated texting?
Not.
So yeah, I don't know why I just pictured him like ankles crossed, boots on the table with his phone up.
That's probably a fair picture.
Oh man. Just plonks him on the table while he was in midpoint.
Eva, well, let's do this properly here. Where am I looking for? Probably that, yeah. Welp, guess I can't say she doesn't seem to notice.
It's not allowed.
She would definitely notice.
She tries to pretend that she doesn't notice.
That tracks.
She does not do a very good job of that either.
I feel like Cherry might notice if Eva's distressed.
She also would have definitely noticed the boot plonking on the table.
Is it a grubby or a clean boot?
Oh no.
Ethan, that's a you question.
I mean, probably a clean boot. Bo cares about his gear, and boots counts as gear.
True.
Boots counts as gear.
And it's not like he muddied up the pin for the copies just for the sake of realism. You can keep a relatively clean pin.
Mm, mhm, mhm. Well, I
Sounds
think
like they are well
Cherry,
shined.
yeah, Cherry would, since she's leaning on the table, I'm gonna say she is next to him and just pokes his leg with her stylus and says, "Do you mind?"
Um, you go, oh yeah, no problem. And then readjust his feet to be on the back of her seat.
So much better. This is exactly what
Before
Cherry wanted.
taking them down. He figures it's too early on Lohanuda to start picking new fights again.
It's a great way to avoid a fight.
All right. So then, Cherry would look at Eva and try and give Eva. She would try and give Eva a reassuring smile.
Oh. Eva continues with a pep in her explanation that goes on way too long. Just to kind of cap that, I suppose. I'll say that she doesn't carry on as long as she has in past planning board meetings. This is more of a recap of what we know and what we want them to know. And she doesn't go as into the weeds as she often does, or into intricate details.
Hmm.
And I think anyone that has been paying attention to Eva and has known her for a little while, so Pete and Cherry for sure, she's making an effort here.
That's really sweet.
Yay, Eva.
She's learning. It's hard to be concise.
Especially for her. Especially for someone who knows so much.
Yeah, basically.
All right. Cool. Are we done here? Is as they're getting towards the end.
Yeah.
I kind of did that before we meet with our employers.
Oh, would you say kind of what?
I really need to finish this up before we meet with our employers,
Oh,
aka Nebula. So
yes, of course. Do you need any help?
I think I have it streamlined. I'm just trying to finish editing it.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
No worries. I think I might take my stuff and head over to my studio and just finish it up there without any more. And she'll glance at Bo and then glance at Zeke. Distractions.
Okay.
All right, great. I think Toshi is parked in the hangar, so I'll see you all later. She's gonna grab her stuff and try not to run, but walk very quickly out of the to her room to get her things.
Okay.
Can Zeke like physically or mentally map the meeting space to try and decide like what the best place would be to just zoop us in there without being seen? might be. That's in the
Hmm.
building or outside the building, or
That's a good question.
I feel like that
Let's
would be
see.
something he could reasonably.
Yeah, I'm trying to think here. I haven't really thought too much before about um, how the teleportation power would work in terms of your like location recall. Um, but yeah, let me think here.
I mean, I think in general, this is a place he would have known that he has to come back to, and would have
Yes.
rather like identify than where a good place is. And
Yeah, he would have paid a good attention to where you guys had gone. Um, the trouble with your visit to Nikki Nebula's tower is you didn't really have a time where you um, got off in like a, broom closet or a side room or anything. The It was pretty much all hallways, and there was a large. Uh, it's
I
kind
mean,
of
if
like a.
that's the case, he would probably just be thinking of like a alleyway on the way to the building, right? Like,
Oh yeah, true. There's a
we
let's
just
see.
don't want to deal with the hassle of the port and you know all of the bureaucracy of getting out of port. I mean, let's just get straight there.
I have a counterpoint to that. And I think it's that we probably actually do want to deal with that bureaucracy. It's all this is like a big important meeting, and I feel like part of it is the arrival. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, Ben, Danielle, anyone. Um,
Um, I would say that with Ava's knowledge and her captainly instincts, that you are pretty well on point. That there are at least multiple sets of eyes on your arrival,
yeah.
and it is going to be very strange and very noticed if you show up at the meeting and nobody saw you get off your ship or leave the port.
Yeah. I appreciate the vote of confidence there, but I don't think Eva realizes this.
Oh, I thought you were bringing that up from Eva's perspective. You were not.
Oh, no. This is me thinking as a counterpoint.
Ah, got you. Okay.
I just wanted to
Then I
raise
guess.
it to the
Oh, okay.
table. Avery, do with that what you will.
Then then I'll revise my assessment slightly and say that that's something Cherry would absolutely be aware of when Zeke brings up the idea to the group of like, guys, let's just show up. I remember a spot that was kind of out of the way. Um, Probably not gonna have anybody there. Um, I really don't want to. No, I'm not sure what his reasoning is entirely, but I'll
Get
leave
paid,
it there.
save time, and do this all the time.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, it makes sense from a certain perspective, but also for something like this, I feel like there's a bit more ritual, or a bit of weight
He's
put to
definitely
it.
the kind of person to be very self-serving, and the idea of going through security when he otherwise wouldn't have. Like, can you imagine if you could just skip the TSA at the airport? That's Zeke.
Oh, I think Zeke's a little further than skip the TSA at the airport. Zeke is like skip the walking to the hallway and skip the moving my mouth to talk.
Yeah, no, fair.
A little,
Skip
little more.
walking over there for the peanut butter.
Yep.
Let alone
Right.
this adventure across town.
Well,
So, did you guys want to hash out the teleport versus no teleport conversation in character, or did you want to just hand wave it?
better for it to be a secret we can leverage if we need to.
Another point.
If they know we have it, they can block it or chase us or something.
Bold of you to assume they don't already have teleport blocking on their government building.
They definitely have telepaths.
But yes, I agree. If it's secret, then ace up the sleeve versus known. But that's really up to Zeke's, like to Avery on like what Zeke would care about keeping quiet or not keeping quiet.
Nobody responds to the they definitely have telepaths.
Is that said in character or out of character?
Yeah, no, that was said in character. I'm assuming that most of that conversation that just happened was in character, but maybe I misunderstood.
Yeah, kind of loosely. I think the characters were saying that kind of stuff.
Character-esque.
Mm-hmm.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
I think Cherry would be Cherry wouldn't know to be alarmed if Zeke said they definitely have telepaths. Actually, because she'd be like, well, yeah, obviously everyone knows they have telepaths. Have grown up there, but someone else might know to be like, what do you mean, Zeke?
I don't think that's Eva either.
All right, well, then that leaves it to Bo or Pete. So
Somebody's gonna bite.
It's okay if nobody bites.
So to talk about not teleporting.
He did not tell you guys about it when it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, it's also fine if everybody just like takes it in stride, like, okay, it's one of those things that Zeke says, and just is more focused on the point of like, hey, we don't want to just throw our teleporting around, in a place like this where we got lots of eyes on us.
Wrong emote.
Better watch that emoting.
Can you delete that one, Ben?
Let's see, where is that?
In the Roll20 chat.
Oh, in Roll20 chat. Oh, I actually I didn't finish joining in. Let me take a look. See.
Oh, Brother Nick's in this game.
Beginning both of them with a B was a mistake.
Yeah. I went ahead and hid that message. There you go. Yeah, so
that's why he's not teleporting. He's got dino stakes he's got to deliver.
Cool dino stakes. Yeah, it's going to require a detour. And incidentally, as you guys are kind of winding down from the planning meeting and discussing whether or not you should, what your limitations should be on teleporting and whatnot, and how much you care about people knowing, Ryuk will poke his head in and just say, hey, just want to let everybody know there's a car waiting out in the hangar for us, I guess.
Yeah, that's probably why we ain't teleporting.
Is that
because Pete would have brought that up.
So, at what point has Cherry left to go to her studio?
She, after the conversation, was when she was like, after she had said, all right, bye, and left.
Okay.
So
Oh,
did not know if that in person or sorry, if that in character conversation about the teleporting happened before she left or what. I was kind of confused about where that was taking place, but she's trying to leave like pretty quick, honestly.
I guess I missed that part. So
Which
she's
part?
the part about her just leaving. Was she trying to? Was she just going out of the ship, or is she like trying to drive off without everybody else?
She's
Trying,
trying to get a ride from Toshi to her studio.
yeah, she's trying to get some privacy, and
Oh, okay.
some time to actually, work without distractions, and maybe
Got
other
you.
things. But that's what she said to us.
Okay. Then yeah, I guess let me cut to that real quick. So, what all has she got with her? Just her, uh, I guess, whatever she's got in her pack when she's heading
So
out.
she would pack her work bag, but she would also pack a few things like a weekend bag sort of thing because she may want to use like an actual shower or swap
Yeah.
out she's been wearing the past several weeks, months,
Okay.
sort of thing.
Yeah, she's definitely got some backup wardrobe back home.
And then she would ask Ryu if he needed a ride anywhere.
So would she catch him on the way out of the ship?
She would probably catch him in their room
Okay.
while she's
Um,
packing.
yeah, he pops in, having gotten her message to come talk to her real quick, and then when she asks him if he wants to ride anywhere, he'll kind of shrug and say, I hadn't really had anywhere in mind. Uh, I'm with you.
Oh, I mean, like
Unless,
you come, but like, would you mind like doing something by yourself for like 2 hours?
yeah,
It,
that's cool.
it's not personal. I just really need
Yeah, no, of course.
and privacy and like it's a me thing that I need that to get work done.
He puts his hands up. Oh yeah, nope, totally get it. Uh, you can just. I mean, I'm good staying on the ship, or you can drop me off wherever. I don't know, maybe a good bar.
She like oh yeah.
Yeah, just I guess that that old man, that was your driver or something, right? You can have him drop me off on the way.
Sure, sounds great.
Awesome.
I'll once I make enough progress on the project, but thank you
Oh yeah, you
for
betcha.
understanding. Just yeah, I just need to work on this.
Yeah, and he'll uh he'll grab he'll 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 probably grab a quick change of clothes just to get a little bit more street life ready than his utilitarian pilot gear, and then he'll be outside even before you're done packing.
Nice.
Just twiddling his thumbs and looking around, kind of. Tashi's standing outside the car, and they're just kind of looking past each other.
Mm.
Um, so when Cherry comes out, Tashi will hold the door open for her and say, Cherry, dear, just you and your friend here, is that all?
Yeah, for now. Ryu, this is Tashi. Tashi, this is Ryu. He's getting a ride, and then if you can take me to the studio, that'd be really helpful.
Very well. And he'll hold the back door open for Ryu and let him climb in. And he'll zip off and hover car your way out of the port. No questions asked. And so wherever you give him directions to drop off Ryu, he'll do that before taking you to your family's home. And then, meanwhile, everybody else has got to figure out what they're doing, how they're getting off the ship.
And it's not to the Amarena residence.
Oh, to her studio, which is somewhere else. Forgot about that.
Yeah. You're good. She had promised to take Eva with her when she went home, so she was going to the studio first.
True. Okie dokie then.
Well, I don't know what the rest of us are doing. I think we've kind of done a little bit of wiggling around in the time stream here. Because I think you'd said that Nikki Nebula. Did we get something from Nikki Nebula already?
You got a message, yeah.
Okay, okay. And that gave us the time and location to meet, right?
No, she said to contact your manager, right? To arrange a time.
Ah, okay. I think that's the part that I missed. Perfect. Well, I don't know what the rest of us are doing.
I mean, Pete's probably sticking with Eva.
Mm-hmm.
There are taxis.
Yeah, if we've just got some free time, then Eva has a project she wants to do. Let me see how much money she has. Oh,
We also love bucks, right?
yeah, she's still got 1,000 love bucks. Yeah, that's not going to be enough though for what she wants to build.
Oh, baby.
Oh.
Do we want to cash in the other jobs we did?
True.
Yeah, if there's anything to do with that, I don't think well, did we already get paid for Cherry's mother's job, the uplift?
I believe you did.
Okay. What other
I
job
could
are you
double-
thinking of, Ethan?
Didn't we do the refugee drop off for so many or did they pay us there upon completion on Phyllis? I can't remember.
Let me see. You got payout for delivering refugees to Phyllis and the medical supply delivery.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so they already did the payout. Because I guess both those were paid on delivery at Phyllis.
Yeah, you were still in.
Yeah, I thought
you were in civilized space. They had the exchange of light hookup that you could go and cash out at.
Okay.
I mean, I guess Pete could shoot a message to Orion. I'm trying to remember. Did we establish that he'd gotten anything back, Ben?
He hadn't gotten anything back yet. You could absolutely send another message, because it's definitely it's been long enough that like, um, I guess obviously up to individual preference, but you know, social norms wouldn't like prohibit you from sending a follow up like, "Hey, is this number good?"
He might send like a "this number's still good" kind of message with a "we just made Planetfall" kind of
Okay.
comment with it. Nothing crazy.
Sounds good then. Yeah, so you can send that message, and just a little bit later, you get a message back, and it's pretty concise, um, and basically says, "Still good, been busy, uh, come by," and sends an address.
I mean, I guess. Is Bo with Pete and Okay, so is it just Cherry off by herself, or is Zeke also out? Because Bo looks like he's out.
Oh,
I'm
I
trying
guess
to
he was getting that ready, not realizing that Cherry was disappearing on him.
Yeah.
But no, I guess he's good to go on whatever errands he's around a guard dog. He hadn't heard back from any. Well, I guess he did hear back from Yamamoto, but he wasn't really wanting to reply to him.
I guess Pete will say, "Anybody want to chat with Orion for a little bit? If we're waiting."
Oh, that sounds. I really do, but I also need to pick up some parts for something I'm gonna build for Cherry. Can we do both?
Probably.
Okay.
He's busy, so we might want to try and fit him in. But I don't know with what.
Yeah, see what our old crystal buddy's up to.
Guess he is kind of like a crystal, isn't he?
Yeah, his whole brain is.
It's not actually crystal. It's and then Eva gets going.
I mean, maybe they could pull your consciousness out of that fleshy brain of yours, Bo, and put it into some sort of quasi-quantum crystal thingamabobber, and you could be a robot too.
Over my dead body.
It would be.
It would be.
You, Eva, going off into the science of how it would be over a dead body.
I mean, Pete will also offer to Zeke if he wants to go, of course.
Yeah, he'd be interested in going.
Alright, so I guess we hail a taxi.
Yeah. This does kind of involve response from you for a question that I posed like a year and a half ago, Ben.
Oh boy.
Can you find it?
Lay it on me.
Is this question about taxis?
It's okay, so it wasn't a year and a half ago, but it was back in December. Back in December, I asked if we could kind of flavor Eva buying components and stuff in a store for a drone as if it were and just say that she's building it from those components. Like,
oh, you're saying if you buy a brand new and just flavor it as though she's building it?
Yeah.
I can't think of any reason not to do that. Because you know, I don't expect you to try to leverage that to, get some kind of leniency on the regular crafting rules.
Yep.
So yeah, no, I think that's good. It's basically like she's just shopping from the, it's maybe akin to going to like a PC parts store where you're buying parts that are like made for the purpose and marketed towards a hobbyist or someone who has experience and wants quality stuff and cares about some of the little minutia of not just wanting to buy the boilerplate off the shelf kind of thing.
Yeah,
So-
and I would keep it limited to things that she could have actually like legitimately bought. If she couldn't buy a
Mhm.
stalker drone with a gun somewhere, I won't say, oh, could she buy the part, and then pretend we're, I'm not going to try and squeak through
Yeah.
anything. But
Yeah, as typical, if you wanted any black market stuff, you need to go to a black market dealer for it.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, no, this, I do see this kind of how you described it, as she's buying the computer parts, or in this part, in this case, the kit bash parts to build a drone. The only step
Yeah.
that she's cutting out is the construction by some automated factory or builder, because she wants to personally do that for Cherry.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Okay. It actually ends up being cheaper to do it this way, anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Save on postage.
Yeah, building things, building gear is more expensive than just buying it.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Absolutely.
That's the only question that I had. I'll post something for Danielle to consider. Yeah, exactly, Robert. I'll post something for Danielle to consider in. I think we've been doing shopping stuff in session chat, right? Or has our shopping stuff been in OOC planning?
Funds, I think.
I thought that was
Or-
where. This is just the discussion of the shopping stuff, not the
Oh,
actual
gotcha.
shopping of the shopping stuff.
Yeah, out of character planning makes sense for the place to do that.
All right, sounds good.
Righty then. We've got let's see. Trying to juggle some messages behind the scenes here too. Do we want to cut back to Cherry and her studio? Get a little sneak peek at that?
Nope.
No, okay.
Sure do
I
not.
was like, whoa, that's background stuff. Get out of my business. That
She
is
is
get out
in
of the
full-
spotlight mode.
Full mode.
I like it.
Since
Alrighty then.
Space where people aren't knocking on her door or popping into her thoughts.
Yeah. Then let's see. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say she may or may not have picked up snacks on the way. She was running low on sugar.
Yeah, that's important. Let's see. So, yeah, Pete had gotten that message from Orion. Eva has a thing she wants to do. Bo is doing messaging, but it sounds like he's up for tagging along with the other two to do their stuff, right?
Oh yeah, he's always down to clown.
Oh yeah. And Zeke gonna come along too?
Yep.
All right. Then you guys can hit up. You guys can either do a rental or taxi. Rental would just kind of give you the freedom of doing whatever. You just pay your whatever daily amount, and you got a car for the day.
Better do rental.
Easy
With
peasy.
Eva's thing, we're probably going to be bopping back and forth between different shops.
Oh, you're shopping. Yep.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I mean, you know how it is when you're building a computer. You get the video card at Best Buy, then you go to CompUSA to get the case, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go back to Best Buy because you realized you forgot an important cable.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course.
Yeah. Let's see. You guys want a grav car for 100 or a ground car for 15?
We're broke.
That
You're
one
not
Eva's
broke.
not gonna weigh in on.
You got all kinds of money in the ship fund.
Zeke's gonna want to spring for the grab car.
So imagine, imagine he's like on the phone with the rental company, goes over to Eva like, hey, like, what's the what's the ship's card number or something like that?
No.
He's just gonna tell me
Avery
it's
said
100 credits.
Zeke's gonna spring for it.
Oh.
Yeah, putting it on Eva's corporate card.
You can be like, it's 100 credits.
Oh yeah, I feel
That's it.
he's gonna cover it. That's easier.
Yeah.
No, he's not gonna do that. He's just gonna come and say this is how much it costs.
Is that I was liking the idea of that scene where he comes up like, "Hey Eva, need 100 credits from the ship fund for a car." Oh, perfect reference, Ethan. Well, does Eva bite, or is she's gonna have no comment, no pushback?
Wait, I'm confused. I thought Zeke was just doing it.
No, he was saying, he's like, no, I'm not gonna cover it. He's
I
wanting
gotcha.
he's wanting the crew to spring for the grav car.
Yeah, he's gonna have called them and come back with it's 100 credits. End of story.
For a car?
Yeah.
What kind of features are you getting on the car?
I think they said this one's black.
No, we're gonna negotiate for this.
What's there to negotiate?
Well,
It
you
doesn't
gotta get you a good one after coming back from a long mission.
it doesn't
Yeah,
cost
we're
100 credits a day for a car.
I don't know. One time Yamamoto, he said he was getting me a good deal, and the best he could do was like 150 a day. So
Well, Yamamoto doesn't know these rental places like I do.
Look, we have to show up in style if we're going to get paid top dollar.
Okay, but show me the car then. Let's go. Eva wants to go to the rental place. I don't think Eva's a cheapskate necessarily, but she is used to scrounging. Well, she's used to. Okay, well, hang on. I have to remember Eva. Eva was actually part of a rich family. She's only used to scrounging for building stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
right.
she may not really know how much a car costs now, unless she remembers if money and kind of details of money is something she pays attention to. She might remember from
I don't think
a
it is.
previous time. I'm.
I
Oh
don't.
well, let's see. You guys didn't rent last time you were in here. I'm remembering
Okay.
other party, but she may have paid attention to that kind of thing on Anagris. Who knows?
I don't think so. I think the only reason she's paying attention to it right now is because Zeke called attention to it.
True. Should have just asked for forgiveness.
Did he draw attention to it? He was really just trying to be like, this is how much it is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess no more than you kind of had to in the situation to get the crew funds.
Well, if he wants to try and convince her that this is just perfectly normal, and that she's not going to be able to barter a better price for the car that he got, I don't know. Roll talk or something.
He's not gonna try to do that necessarily. He is gonna point out, however, that they'll bring the car to us, is my understanding, if we just go ahead and agree to it.
True. Then you don't have to pay the taxi to take you to the rental place.
Far as did Zeke just teleport over there or something?
Has he ever been to the rental place?
He told me not to teleport.
Yes.
He's probably on an app or something.
Because if we're just gonna walk that back, I can just take us directly to Nikki Nebula's building.
No, we're not walking that back. We're not saying that we're walking that back. Okay, well, yeah, I think there was a little confusion on my part as to what exactly was going on, and also with my own character. So, I'll just say that,
good.
Yeah, Eva accepts that it's because it's black. And
she's trusting Zeke.
And it is stylish. She'll enter the card details.
All right. And the ship is 100 credits, or maybe 100 love bucks poorer. And you guys have a rental car on the way. So yeah, the car shows up and is definitely black and sleek and hovering about a foot off the ground. Just emitting a low hum.
Where do they keep the champagne?
Keep the what?
The champagne. Is it in the trunk or?
Oh, the champagne. Unfortunately, this model does not come with champagne.
Well, that's going in the review.
We didn't pay for a limo.
This was just one step down. It does have heated and massaging seats, though. And a little bit of an expert navigation system that you can more or less let drive you into any of the any known place in the city. You just tell it where you want to go.
Bo will pass his hip flask to Zeke and say, "Well, it ain't champagne, but it'll do in a pinch."
What does Zeke think about that?
Sorry, I guess I didn't hear that. What was
Oh,
that?
Bo handed him his hip flask.
A hip
told him.
flask? Oh. No, he doesn't want that. He's gonna give it back.
Well, more for me.
So who hops in the driver's seat?
I mean,
Zeke
I
hops in
guess
the back.
Pete,
Mm,
because Pete can drive.
Alrighty.
At least we
Oh.
established it in canon, just not
Yeah.
chase level driving.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Eve actually does
Yeah.
have pilot skill, but
Is there like a three-way bumping into shoulders as everybody reaches for the driver door at the same time?
no, I don't think so. Eva's busy on her data slab, so she's. That's another reason that she just kind of is like, okay, so it's black. Okay, that makes sense. She's busy trying to put together all the pieces that she wants and track them down where they are in stores around here.
Makes sense. She's
So
got more important money to be worried about.
Yeah, she may even need to be dragged by the shoulder and pushed into the car.
Nudged in the direction. Hey, the car's here. The door is here. All right, then. So you all get situated. Pete gets a voice coming from the console, saying, "Welcome. Where would you like to go today?"
And he'll give the address that Orion gave him.
Okay. Yes, of course. Right away. And the car will raise up a few feet, do a little slow 180, and zoom off down the down the track and up around the side of the hangar. And this track, there is there's basically like a little 2-lane track that goes around, and it cuts out into the chasm that is basically the giant entrance of the spaceport, where ships are slowly ascending or descending to various hangars that are arranged vertically, fairly deep into the ground here, but you're kind of doing following this little track up along the side, towards the top where the exit is to the city proper.
Okay.
And the grav car will take you through the city, towards the center. It's not too far off from the triple towers of the the council's personal arrangements. There's another, not nearly as imposing, but still well appointed building that given the description and the address, looks like Orion here is set up with Oh goodness, I'm blanking on the word. What's the thing where it's an entire floor?
Penthouse?
Thank you. Yeah, basically got a penthouse situation in this 10-story building that's near the seat of power. And yeah, so you guys can park, hop out. There is private parking just for this building, and got a fairly luxurious little lobby when you come in from the parking garage. That is just manned by a single bot that cheerily greets you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome, and can I help you with anything?
Pete will step forward and say, I was looking to talk with Orion. Would you
Oh,
tell him that
yes,
Pete
of
is here?
course. Oh, no need. He
In the
told
crew?
me to be expecting you. You can. He presses something on his panel, and the elevator lights up and opens to admit you. Yes, you can head on up. He's expecting you.
Thank you.
And
Guess
you
we'll
all,
get in there.
yeah. There's plenty of space on the elevator, and it zips you right up to the 10th floor.
I'll say, dang, y'all think we should have got him a housewarming gift?
Maybe, but
I
I
don't
don't
even
know
know
what
what
you buy a fella like Orion.
I'd normally say a fruit basket, but I don't know what the robot equivalent of that would be. I don't know. Do you eat like 10mm sockets or something, Petey?
Bo,
I mean,
remember to be polite. Best behavior, Bo.
Yeah, I'm the one who thought of bringing a housewarming gift.
One of you
Oh,
might recall.
okay, that's true.
One of you might recall that he is now in he's housed in an organic shell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Pete might glance at Bo and say, I mean, if you got a spare dino burger, he might be interested.
That's a coin flip if you actually did carry that cooler this entire way.
I mean, it might be in the car.
Flip that coin.
Here we go, getting up the dice roller.
Mm-hmm.
While
Really
Ethan's
important
doing
stuff.
that, Danielle, can you check OOC planning and let me know if that looks good to you?
He did.
He's got him.
Like, well, I guess I could spare one of them dino burgers. I figure that makes a good conversation starter.
For sure.
Your dino burgers are pretty good. It might be weird if he's the only one eating it, though.
No, he doesn't
I
have to
mean,
eat it like in front of us. Just put it in the fridge for later.
yeah.
And maybe this gets him on board. He's got money. He could help us get that RPG and a dude to feed to the Kaijusaurus as bait.
No,
Maybe he could.
we're not using
Oh.
anyone as bait.
Not even like some murdering criminal?
No, murdering
I'm sure
criminals.
Lohanuda's got a couple folks that wouldn't mind if they go missing.
They would. Lohanuda is a just society that treats its criminals like people because they are people.
Yeah, and some people need to get fed to a Kaijusaurus.
That's not what justice says.
With wheat cutters around it. So,
I'm liking this
know.
plan more and more, Petey.
No.
that we can agree on.
Glad you guys are
They're
agreeing on
probably just gonna
something,
be
I guess.
talking about the plan
Well, maybe like
all the way up.
like a cow or something. There's probably a criminal cow they'd feed to the Kaijusaurus.
What? Even gets even more upset about this. You're not using a cow.
It's
But don't
Bo's
the
time
Kaijusaurus
to
eat
ramble,
murderers?
and he'll tell about the time that the town judge convicted a cow for its many violent crimes.
No,
that
this
leads me to remember
never
that
happened.
cows are a lot more abundant on Phyllis than they are on Lohanuda.
I'll say, oh man, there's paperwork. Tell you, that was the most delicious execution I'd ever been to.
That's all kinds of wrong. You tried a cow as a person, and then you ate you ate cannibal. You're a cannibal.
Cows aren't people.
But
That
you
doesn't
treated
make him a
him
cannibal.
it like a people,
No, cannibal is when you eat your own kind.
and they tried and executed the cow like their own kind.
I think they probably just called it a barbecue, but okay.
That cow got what was coming to it.
This is so wrong.
Justice for old lady Colleen.
How does Cherry end these kinds of conversations so easy?
Oh boy.
I figure at that point the door's probably open and we're at the penthouse.
Ryan's just been standing there for 5 minutes.
He's probably just amused. Like, yeah, missed you guys. Just chaos, you know.
You betcha. Let's see. Yeah, so opening up on the penthouse, you're taken aback, perhaps, at the state of it. It's not. You can see the hints of the finery, but there are little like kind of partition walls, temporary partition walls set up various places. Even the little entry lobby that you step into, that's kind of like the waiting room for the penthouse, is pretty cluttered with various equipment and got some cables running running across the floor over one of the couches and up through a inelegantly placed hole in the wall, and the doors, the two doors to the little entryway are open, and you can hear some tinkering and something coming from one door, but you hear a voice from right next to the door. It says, welcome, crew. See, Eva, Pete, Bo, and Zeke. I guess you're only missing Cherry. Yeah, come on over.
Yeah, she's getting ready for meeting with What was it, Nikki Nova?
Oh, Nikki Nebula.
Nebula.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's all right. I'll forgive her. Yeah, door on your left. As the voice comes from the wall beside you.
These kids and their Bluetooth speakers. I don't know if that's not a character or a character. It might have been a character. So he's going for the door.
Yeah, you hear a little rumbling chuckle coming from the speaker. Yeah, so coming through the door, there's you're greeted by a mess of computing hardware and large cooling equipment. It actually you're hit by a little bit of a temperature change as it's noticeably cooler in this room. And you can see some of there are a couple pieces of furniture, kind of a lounge and a chair that have just kind of been pushed off to one side and grouped, still usable, but like very much out of the way to make room for more of this hardware. And you can catch a glimpse through a couple of these things that they just about reach the ceiling. You can see he's over behind them, and he's in like a robe, and all four arms working diligently on something, and there's some sparks.
Well, Eva's no longer pouting. Wow, what are you working on?
He pauses in what he's working on and turns to look at you with two of his four eyes while his other arms continue working. Oh, just trying to get comfortable, get fully moved in, and stretch out, fill the space, Feels good not to be so confined anymore.
That's a lot of processing power. How can you use it all?
Yeah. He gives her kind of a double take. Oh, I can use far more than this. This is nice. It's much better than that sad little well, no offense to any of you, but that sad little piece of anyway that you'd carried me here, and oh, it's so good to have room to think again.
Room, an entire room to think.
Yes, and well, the Loinuda government has been accommodating, but I am going to eventually need to figure out a way to get more, but that's for another time. Pete, I saw your message. You're here about that that problem of yours.
Yeah.
He glances at the others. Seems like he's trying to remember if he's if this can be discussed in front of them or not.
I mean, Pete will just shrug and say, "Even knows everything."
I do. It's true.
No, about the question of am I just a crazy bot or like
Oh,
from a human mind?
well, yeah, I know about that too.
Yeah.
Oh, very good then. He'll set down the piece of equipment that he's working on welding something to, and stands up, brushing his hands off, and says, "Well, I've prepared a little something that might be able to help. Sorry, I should have had you go there right away." He'll um, squeeze past you through the through the server racks and lead you to another part of the penthouse, um, where he's got a chair set up with you know, a thick set of cables uh, draped over the back of it, leading to a couple different computers, and he fires everything up, and doesn't have to touch anything. Just as he walks over to it, things whir to life, and lights come on, and he turns the chair to Pete and says, "Well, care to take a seat?"
Wow, I guess I wasn't expecting you to have like done preparation for this. I just figured we would talk about it. But he'll walk over and sit on down.
Of course. Well, I haven't had anything important to do really, other than just getting comfortable, and I have been thinking a lot about your problem. It's an intriguing one, and as I told you before, did ring some distant bells. Do sit, and uh, uh, well, let me know if any of this is too uncomfortable, and I can try it differently. Well, I'm not very familiar with your model exactly, but
It's probably not more uncomfortable than some of the state that Eva found me in the first time. I'll be alright.
very good. And so he'll get you seated, and he'll kind of be running his hands across the back of Pete's chassis, looking for access panels and ports. Um, and he'll he'll find, he'll start taking off a couple pieces of plating that are, not the typical like access port that Pete might plug into to do some diagnostics. Um, he's getting a little bit deeper into Pete's hardware, and
Alright.
couple couple things couple things that he touches, or starts to plug into, give Pete a little bit of a feedback jolt, kind of a uh, sort of a nervous system equivalent to, like, hey, that's not supposed to get touched under normal circumstances.
Yeah, like a
Um,
reflex hit.
mm-hmm. Yeah, comparable to pain, but not, but designed not to, like, incapacitate you or anything. Um, just probably cause a little flinch here and there. Um, Pete was probably expecting something like that, so he might have been ready.
Yep.
um,
Probably
yeah.
looking pretty twitchy in the chair, but other than that,
I
Yeah.
mean, if he's twitchy in the chair, then I feel like Zeke's probably gonna ask him if he's okay.
I mean, he'd probably say to Zeke, reminds me of being at the doctor's.
Yeah. Probably the second or third time that Pete has a reaction like that, Ryan will pause and say, "Oh yeah, I forgot." He reaches down and he pulls like uh, there are little straps that were dangling down below the arms. Do you mind?
Sure.
Just so that you don't flinch and I jab the wrong thing. And he'll just tie them uh, to keep Pete's arms arms still and kind of hold him against the back of the chair.
Hmm.
What are you guys posting in here?
I just randomly found that.
Anyway. Oh man. Yeah, so the next few minutes are very interesting for Pete. Once Orion gets him all hooked up, he says, "All right, now probably best to shut your sensors off as much as you can and well, brace yourself. This is experimental. Uh, let me know if you need me to stop, and I should have the proper fail-safes built in, but just in case."
Okay. And Pete will dial back all his sensors as low as they can go.
All right, and Orion closes his 4 eyes and seems to concentrate, and all the machinery around you all hums louder and powers up higher. And Pete starts experiencing a rapid fire series of memories as whatever Orion is doing, poking around inside his artificial mind, starts as he's accessing these things, become just uh, briefly Pete becomes briefly aware of them, and he starts he's seeing flashes of some of his early time on Harvario, where he was in hiding and doing whatever he had to do to try to stay below the radar and um, keep keep some connections that would help him out and help hide him from the authorities. And as he continues, he's seeing moments that are closer and closer to what he somewhat vaguely remembers as the scene in that office where he came to himself looking down at um, his what he recognized as his own body sitting there in front of him. And things start to fuzz out. Um, it seems like he's kind of reliving the scene, but there are very obvious artifacts, um, gaps and problems with the scene that don't make any sense at all. Um, Random people that definitely weren't there. Um, just missing walls that open into a completely different scene, and you hear Orion's voice a little bit distantly saying, "Well, this isn't right at all."
Mm.
Are you seeing this, Pete?
I am. I kind of feel like it would have like a monitor to the side so that everybody could like see this. I don't like I'm
Yeah.
like
That
that's just typical of sci-fi. Somebody's doing diagnostics and rifling through memories, but it's going too fast for humans to catch everything.
Right. It's a flickering mess for a while, but yeah, at this point,
But at this point,
the view
they're kind of like freezing on this weird set of memories that don't belong.
You're just begging for Eva to get the Ghost Talker transceiver so that she can record things with her eyes now.
I kind of feel like Pete would be like, yeah, but I don't remember that. It feels unsorted. Like, does it overlap? Is it before? Is it after?
There's certainly something wrong with your memory processing and storage around this time. It's not the typical start date as I would expect to find in a VI's mind. Though I haven't done this often, I've never seen anything like this. So I can cautiously say that I agree there is something very unusual about your origin, Pete. That you are no ordinary VI. Some of these remnants are not standard. This would not have happened under a normal initialization.
I assume it just cuts off around that time.
So he keeps poking around, and he talks you through this a little bit and has you try to walk around a little bit in this scene of the memory. It's a little bit awkward, and it feels wrong to do it because you're
probably glitchy too.
Exactly, and it's already a disjointed mess. And for those of you observing this on the screen outside, it's you're seeing it through the eyes of Pete, and it's a very bizarre mess. It's clearly not, it looks like something straight out of a fever dream, or a bad drug trip. And so,
can we hear the conversation that Pete and Orion are having?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be out loud.
Yeah, because I think they're both there, and they're both able to. They've got enough mental agility to process and interact in multiple kind of realms at the same time. Definitely can do the mind thing and also speak out loud. So yeah, I'm gonna say that it does cut out before too much longer, but you do get a couple moments where you get a clear look at the face of the man who, was sitting across the desk from your body. And that face kind of crystallizes in your memory, clearer than it had before. And you now have a clear image of that you could actually use. It's some years out of date at this point, obviously, but still certainly usable from an information gathering kind of standpoint. And but the trying to look at your own body doesn't really work. And in fact, that's the point when you try to focus a little bit more pointedly on that is when everything falls apart and blows away. And you don't really get a clear picture of your own body.
I guess at that point, Pete would feel pretty confused too, because so I would have expected to feel some sort of psychotic break looking at my own body. I'm assuming this would be what I remember as when the body that is me now killed myself. But if that is the case, why is the memory so weird?
Yeah, this memory.
He would have said all that in character.
Oh yeah. And Orion will reply, yeah, this memory is too disjointed and corrupted somehow to be clear about it for now, but this tells me a lot, and I have more to go with now. I am going to need to study this. I assume you don't mind if I make some copy what I can, and store this for some study.
I guess I don't mind.
Of course,
weird situation.
Yes, I understand that it's unusual to bear yourself so freely, and of course, I will keep everything to myself. This will not go to anyone else, and I'll do my best to stay out of anything too personal, but this will need to be triaged. I'm not sure what I can do, but I think with time I may be able to resolve some of these errors and perhaps at least find a clear answer to the source of the corruption in your memory banks.
I guess at that point he'll look over at Eva and say, maybe there is something deeper in my core that is a difference that we've never had to touch before.
Well, I mean, I've always known that you were special, Pete, so this isn't...
No, I mean like hardware. Like non-standard stuff.
We can look. I didn't want... It felt invasive. I didn't know how you would feel about it. But I never asked. Like, I mean, how do you tell someone you want to look inside them, right?
I mean, I kind of assumed you wanted to at the time.
Oh,
but...
so much. Yes. Just, I mean, you were my friend, and so I didn't want you to think that I wanted to take you apart. Because I did, but not like in the bad way.
Well, I appreciate the respect.
Um, I, yes, of course I could put you back together if we take you apart and catalog everything.
Well, I'm pretty sure we don't have time for something that in depth like today. Perhaps in
No.
future. I'm pretty sure Cherry will be done long before you get done disassembling me to figure it out.
Probably. Um, Mr. Orion, is there anything else that maybe I should keep an eye out for? Like some different spectrometers or any analysis tools I should look into picking up and setting up around the ship?
Hmm. Not that I could think of. I don't know how much could be observed externally. I'm going to need to do some thorough diagnostics on these memories, and going to need to record some of my my look into his hardware as well, and reference this with some of the things that I have remembered distantly, and see if I can discreetly ask around and find out about any similarities or any individuals who might be exploring these subjects, at least who might be willing to admit as much.
Well, I know a lot of good bookstores, and I don't just mean like they have books, but collectors. Um, and
Hmm. Well, I'll let you know if I need to find any reference materials. Unfortunately, this is not the sort of thing that most would commit to writing, at least not and allow to fall into the hands of the general public. Um,
but why? This is fascinating.
oh, absolutely. And I'll just say that the Perimeter Agency would find it fascinating as well.
Oh. No. No, that's not good. She looks
No, it
worriedly
isn't.
over at Pete.
I don't think Pete knows what the perimeter agency is, so just look back at the two of them with a blank look.
And
Like, what?
I think Eva might. Obviously, Ben is the arbiter of this, but I think Eva is likely to know just from, um, or know some truth of it from how far her research and her reading has gone, and not just into the Jennifer Moons novels, but actual reading that she's done.
Yeah. Um, I think she would definitely know like the generic, the history highlights of the Perimeter Agency. Um, she would, as far as she's concerned, the Perimeter Agency is ancient history. Um,
Cue Jennifer Moons actually knowing a little too much about it in one of her books.
yeah, I
Right?
mean, it is a popular, it's definitely a popular subject in fiction, and probably almost certainly comes up. It would be, um, it's like, oh dear, I guess, I mean,
The
it's
Men in
probably
Black.
not too far from, yeah, it's kind of Men in Black. It's kind of like
She's
super
the
space CIA. Um,
Yeah, she's the
maybe,
Tom Clancy of forbidden pre-tech procedures.
yes, yeah, there's some Tom Clancy, some, uh, oh, Dan Brown, who's his character? I'm trying to remember. Um,
Mr. Da Vinci Code.
exactly. Um, But yeah, like there's some of that stuff. But yeah, Men in Black is probably a good comparison. It's probably the best one so far. Um, but yeah, so she'd kind of like, oh yeah, that's ancient history. Maybe there's some holdouts somewhere, but yeah, that's not really a thing anymore as far as
Hmm.
she's concerned. But she would definitely know what he's talking about.
Okay. I'll amend her reaction then based on that to like, no, no. The perimeter agency doesn't actually exist.
He chuckles and looks at her. Well, I have been told as much, though. I'll just tell you that that's exactly what the perimeter agency would like everyone to believe.
Oh, Bo and Orion are suddenly on the same page.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Like tinfoil hat fist bump.
He,
Isn't
I'm
that
say
just a headbutt?
he would definitely pick up on Bo's subtle,
Look of
or
approval.
whatever body language he has. Orion would, one of Orion's four eyes would glance at him and give a very subtle wink.
Oh no.
While he's talking to Eva, and saying basically, it is certainly possible and very likely that the agency's headquarters have been lost to time and space, and that the command structure above it has disintegrated, but I would personally believe it is still operating fully in the shadows. It has always been a subtle thing. At least until it until it needed to strike publicly.
That. Mm. Okay, so we'll come back here then.
Then it's been good having you, and he's disconnecting Pete as he says all this. And he assures Pete that he's taken recordings and copies of the information he needs to study, and says, I'll reach out as soon as I have something. I don't know how long it will take, but I have nothing more important to work on than this. I consider this my thanks to you for your care in getting me out of that wretched place I'd been buried in for I don't know how long.
Well, I appreciate it. I don't feel like we did anything that big, but
Yeah.
perhaps in finding this guy, if there is something bad going on, we'll find something important to this age too.
Perhaps so, and I bear no ill will towards Ms. Lloyd, but I can assure you that, void of your influence, my fate would have been very different.
Probably.
Well,
Pete will offer a hand to shake.
yeah, he'll take it, and while he does, clap you on the shoulder and back with the other 3 arms, and he'll say, "Take care of yourself, Pete, and we'll be in touch. Of course, let me know if you discover anything that might be relevant in your own search."
Okay. I will.
And he also gives you a parting. Um, I can't promise that my time and services will always be completely yours, free at all times, but if you have any need, bring it to me. I will help if I can and if I have the time.
Well, I understand. Thank you.
He he looks at Eva when he says that, seeming to want to make sure that it sticks with her.
In case his condition deteriorates,
Thank you for helping Pete.
Well, you're welcome. Now take care of all of you, and don't keep Miss Nebula waiting too terribly long. She does get a little cranky sometimes.
Well, okay. Also good to know.
We'll check if Cherry's done. I know she wanted to be ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I imagine she might be by now. Just in time for a fade to black and wrap up the session here.
All right. It's good time.
Let's see here. There we go. Get 1 XP and start our faves. Looks like we start with Danielle tonight.
Well, faves would be can I defer? Sorry.
And hit Dex next.
It would be. That is my fave. When Bo said Pete was teasing him about getting put into a robot body, and Bo said, "Over my dead body," and both Eva and Pete said at the same
man.
time, "It would be."
It would be.
Pete
Yeah.
in a
Oh, my
teasing
word.
manner, and Eva in a matter of factual.
That was funny.
Terrifying. It's also hilarious.
Yeah, that was a solid moment. Ethan.
I think first getting to unravel more of Pete's backstory, and then second bring it all the way back to the very beginning with smoochy kisses.
All right, I'm sorry. Somewhere in that first part, I just totally spaced. I got the bringing it back with smoochy kisses, and the other part I just totally spaced on.
The Pete backstory revelations.
Alrighty. Is that about right?
I guess we disagree on how to smell or spell smoochy, but
Okay, let's see. Are we
Yeah.
talking
I think you're right,
IE
Ethan.
like
probably.
this? IE?
Yeah.
Is that what you-
Mhm.
Yep.
All right, I got a non-committal, or at least an unclear noise from Ethan.
indeed.
Okay, there we go. I tell my kids I need a yes or a no. I'm teasing.
Uh,
Yeah, Robert.
I'm gonna go with I think it was what's the sidekick character Kai
Ryu.
and the Ryu and the oh you don't want me to be with you moment. Plus Pete backstory stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. Avery.
Definitely obligatory Pete backstory stuff, but also, and I don't really know how to phrase it, but I mentioned before that Zeke's a little bit self-serving, right?
Mhm.
So the just having kept the secret of and maybe not even intentionally, the last time we were at Nikki Nebula's place, he had an interaction on his own, and then just dropping oh yeah, they definitely have a telepath. No one paid any mind to that, so it just gets to continue going. And there's other stuff like that with Zeke. It's fun.
I feel like it's just one of those head nodding. Yeah, yeah, sure they got telepaths. Just like I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that was definitely just a beautiful moment where he's he's just not think. I don't know if it was that he wasn't thinking or he was deliberately kind of teasing it, but no, yeah, everybody just not reacting at all. Just like, oh yeah, that tracks that it would be the case, or that Zeke would know that, and it just doesn't question it at all. It's
Yeah,
really
when
great.
really there's definitely more to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh
I kind
man.
of put it in the same line of thought of oh yeah, if we go back there, we'll definitely die. Or yeah, if you just go back to the ship, we're gonna see some Cappy babies
Yeah.
real soon.
Oh boy. Let's see. Then that brings us to me, and so mine were pretty well taken. But I mean, I'm gonna stick with it. So, I guess slightly different phrasing. The "over my dead body" from Bo,
That was funny.
and the follow up. And then my other favorite thing, I think, was definitely um I don't know how to put it. Um I guess uh Cherry ditching the henchman maybe is how I'd phrase it. um because yeah, the just that scene of him being like, "Oh, I didn't have any plans. I'm with you," just meaning it kind of generally, and her being like, "Oh, whoa, yo, no, like I'm going to do my own thing, like nothing personal, but you were not with me today." And him just be, "Oh, yeah, yeah, no, that's fine. That's totally cool. Like, no problem." And giving like just the faintest vibe of like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Nothing's wrong. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all." That was a fun scene too. All right, Danielle, what about you? Back to you. No more deferring.
I think Danielle fell back
Danielle, you
asleep.
here? Oh, do we think she was asleep at some point? I had
I'm
wondered.
sorry. I'm awake. I just
All
for
right.
favorites, I liked the fact that Bo and Orion shared a tin hat moment.
That was good.
Yep.
That, yeah. I love that so many people picked up on that, the connection that there would be immediately. As soon as Orion said that, I was like, "Oh, yep, Bo's gonna zero in on that."
I also liked all the banter in the elevator on the way up.
Traumatizing poor Eva.
That cow had to pay for its many crimes.
Oh my
Yep.
goodness, yes. Oh, I
Yep.
got distracted by all the references to the other things I'd liked. I'd forgotten. Yes, the criminal cow. Oh man, that was a perfect moment too. you you're gonna have to send me, Ethan, the name. Do you remember the name of the woman that you? Well, I guess we've got it on the tape.
I think old lady Colleen.
Lady Colleen. Um. All right, let me make note of that.
Dave's posted. Ready to end the stream when you're ready.
Yeah, you can go ahead and drop it.
Alright.